welcome to my channel. Jessica from Beauty and Baseball here on YouTube, and I are bringing you another episode of Clone Wars. This is for the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. This is something that I wanted to do because I really wanted that palette. It's so beautiful, and I said let's go ahead and dupe this, because if not, I'm probably going to go out there and buy it because I really want it. And I sat down today and I decided to go ahead and dupe it, and I'm surprised. It did not take me long to dupe this at all. In fact, I used all Urban Decay eyeshadows except for one. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. The first one is called Ground, and for that I'm going in my Ammo palette, and I'm going to go with this shade right here, which is Oil Slick. Right there. The next shade is called Aluminum, and for that one I'm going in my Urban Decay Smoky palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here, Armor. That's it right there. The next one is called Spandex, and for that I'm going in my Vice 4 palette, and I'm going with this shade right here, and that's called Beatdown. It's that one right there. The next one is called Dive, and for that I'm going in my Vice 3 palette. And I'm going with this shade right here, which is called Freeze. It's that shade right there. The next two are also from the Vice 3 palette. The first shade is called Metalhead, and for that one I went with this shade right here, which is called Vanity, which is right there. And then the next one is called Punk Rock, and for that I went with Alchemy, which is right there. Going back into the Vice 4 palette, the next shade is called Mullet, and for that I'm using this one right here, which is called C-Note, which is right there. The next one is called Amp, and for that I'm going in my Urban Decay Deluxe Shadow Box, and I am going with this shade right here called Peace, which is that right there. And then the next one is called Twisted, and I'm going back into the Deluxe Shadow Box, and I'm going to go with this beautiful shade right here. It's called Honey. It's that one right there. The next one is called Glam Rock, and this is the only shadow I have that is not Urban Decay, and this is Makeup Geek's High Wire, which is right there. Next one, I'm going back into my Vice 3 palette, and this shade is called Base, and for that I'm going with this one right here, and it is called Rain, which is right there. The next one comes from my Urban Decay Smoky palette. The shade is called Glory, and for that I'm going with this one right here, and it is called Radar, which is right there. The next one is called Demo, and for that I'm going in my Naked Heat palette and going with this shade right here, which is Ember, which is that right there. The next one goes right back into the Naked Heat palette, and this shade is called Starfire, and for that I'm going with Scorched, which is right here. Right there. The next one is called After Party, and for that I'm going in my Vice 3 palette, and I'm going with this shade right here, which is called Sonic, which is that right there. Next one is called Angel Fire, and I'm going right back into my Vice 4 palette, and I'm going with this shade right here, which is called Bones, which is that right there. The next one is called Roadie, and for that I'm going in the single eyeshadow by Urban Decay, and it's called Gash. and it's that right there. The next two are coming from my Naked Smoky palette. The first one is called Maiden, and for that, I'm going in with Bittersweet, which is that shade right there. And then the next one is called Scream, and for that, I'm going in with High. It's that shade right there. And for the last shade that is called Acoustic, I'm going into my Vice 3 palette, and for that I'm going to be using this shade right here, Bobby Dazzle, which is that right there. So this is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette dupe, and I know that this definitely satisfies me, and I know that I don't want it now because I have all these in my collection, or they're close enough. So hopefully this helps you out. Be sure to go ahead and check out Jessica's channel to see her dupes, and if you have any palettes that you would like us to dupe, just go ahead and leave it in the comments and we will get to it. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. If you like this video, please subscribe and see some more Clone Wars project pans and books and all kinds of crazy things. So have a good day, everybody. Bye.